Good morning, beloveds. It is 70 degrees out there, and that's the low. It's going to be in the 80s for the rest of the week until like Monday. It's February. I'm not happy about this. I'd like to keep the cooler weather for a little bit longer, but it is what it is. So let's get on with this. It is February 21st. Our title is Prosperity. The first quote is, "Bless the Lord, O my soul, and forget not all its benefits." And that is Psalm 103:2. The second quote is, "Our mental acceptance should be filled with conviction, warmth, color, and imagination. The creative power responds to feeling more quickly than to any other mental attitude." Science of Mind, page 398. Prosperity is an absolute. There's no such thing as greater prosperity. There is such a thing as more money or less money, but prosperity is simply having the money we need when we need it. We should recognize a divine sufficiency as a constant in all of our affairs. We live in a universe of abundance. There's plenty of everything. Believe it. Believe that the source that supplies the world with its abundance supplies you with yours. Take time now to silently contemplate this wonderful idea. God's world and your world comprise a unity. Begin to realize that you need let nothing in your thinking or feeling interfere with the right flowing to you of all your good. And this of course includes money. You are healed of any mental block or emotional bias right now. Make your affirmations and gratefully accept your good. I know there is no power opposed to God. My substance, my supply, all that is enriching flows to me from the eternal source. My expectancy is of God, and this prayer engages the creative power of fulfillment. Something has actually changed in my consciousness as I put my trust unequivocally in God's action in my life. My prosperity is now set into motion in the most wonderful way. It is done, and I give thanks. And that is C.C. Craig Carter. All right. So prosperity is one of those topics that I don't actually enjoy. And partly because I believe that it's far more than money. And interestingly enough, that's exactly how he starts out. What he starts out saying is prosperity is an absolute. There is no such thing as greater prosperity. There is such a thing as more money or less money. But prosperity is an absolute. And I think that's one of the things why I dislike talking about prosperity. Because inevitably when we talk about prosperity, everybody wants to talk about money. And I'm like, but that's not what prosperity is. He goes on to say, and I believe that Raymond Charles Barker said the same thing. Prosperity is having the money when you need it. You don't need all of the money. You just need enough when you need it, right? But prosperity is so much more than that. It's so much more than money. We just get a little fixated on money. And don't get me wrong, money is extremely important. I got bills to pay. I understand. But we get this idea in our mind that if we don't have, we get these ideas that there's this certain magical level of money that will make all of our problems go away. All right. And that's not true. Who is it that says it? More money, more problems. And it's a song and I don't remember who the artist is. And so if you want to create a prosperity consciousness, what you want to do is look beyond money. And as we're coming into spring, this is a good time to look around and look at the richness of the world. Look at as springtime comes in, how the trees spare no expense in the new leaves. And the flowers spare no expense in blossoming. And look at the richness in your relationships. Look at the depth and color in your world. because it's so much more than just money. Now, again, I said money is important because part of the feeling of the prosperity is the money is there when you need it. But when you fixate on your bank account and go, I've got to have this much in it, that's not going to make you feel prosperous. In fact, it's going to do the opposite. You get so fixated on that magic number, whatever it is, that you don't see the rest of the richness in your life. And you don't feel prosperous. And then you wonder why, So it's like create that feeling of prosperity by looking at everything else that makes you prosperous and understanding that the money will come, and we do have this treat and move your feet idea. And that's exactly what it is. It's like, okay, it's like you treat for the means to meet your needs, and you go out and do whatever it is that you do and get what you need to meet your needs. And oftentimes it is money, but not always. Sometimes it's forgiveness. Sometimes, other things happen. It's like when you go out to dinner with somebody and they offer to pay for you. It's like you had the money to meet your need. You didn't ask them. They didn't ask you. They just did it, right? And so so you have what you need to meet your needs. That's what prosperity is. It's not just about the money. In fact, I would say that money is a very small part of it. An important part, but a very small part of it. So if you want to create that prosperity mindset, and there's a throwaway quote, and I believe it's the Science of Mind quote about how important feeling is. If you want to feel prosperous, don't look at your bank account. Look at your friends. Look at your family. Look at your life experiences. And therein lies your prosperity. Therein lies the richness of the life that you have lived. And when you look back at the bank account, it's not as important. At no time have I ever said it's not important, but it's not as important. A life well lived is not focused on the bank account. Now, that being said, prosperity is definitely about having what you need to meet your needs, which is why Science of Mind has a social justice, because we understand that people need shelter and people need food and people need clean water so that then they can focus on their prosperity consciousness. Then they can do their spiritual work. We got to meet their physical needs so that they can meet their spiritual needs. And that's the work we do. All right. So I know who we are. I know what we do. And the mission today, should we choose to accept it? He's got this beautiful treatment down here. I know that there is no power opposed to God. My substance, my supply, all that is enriching flows to me from the eternal source. My expectancy is of God, and this prayer engages the creative power of fulfillment. I think that right there's your mission. Your mission today, our mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to engage the creative power of fulfillment. The creative power of fulfillment. What does that look like? I don't know. What's it look like to you? That's why I talk about, when we talk about prosperity, stop looking at your bank account. Don't not check your bank account, but stop focusing on your bank account and look at the richness of your life. If we want to engage the creative power of, what did he say? Creative power of fulfillment. I've already forgotten. The creative power of fulfillment. If we want to engage the creative power of fulfillment, we need to feel it. Well, what better way to feel it than to look at the richness of your life? All right. That's the mission today. Engage the creative power of fulfillment by looking at the richness of your life and feeling that feeling. All right? Pretty simple, and maybe not. That's the mission today. The other mission is the same mission I give you every day, which is the spiritual practice of doing something loving for yourself, doing something kind for yourself, doing something compassionate for yourself, whatever that looks like. Absolutely. Right now, I am currently petting a sleepy kitty, and that is the most loving, kind, and compassionate thing I can do for myself, because that purr, when they purr, that is the best sound in the world. Only a little bit better is the laugh of a baby. You want to make yourself feel better? Go listen to a baby laugh. Google it. And then immediately followed by that, like I said, is a cat purr. And there's something about when you're petting a cat and they roll over onto their back and show you their belly, and you know that you have their trust. That's love, that's kindness, that's compassion right there. And dogs do it too, and I mean that look that they give you when they know that they're safe. Oh, love, kindness, and compassion. Practice on yourself. You are your own best test subject, and more importantly, you deserve your own love. You deserve your own kindness. You deserve your own compassion. It looks like taking a deep breath before you speak. It looks like taking a nap. It looks like taking a walk. It looks like taking care of yourself. I make no bones about the fact that it is absolutely about self-care. But I also remind you it's also about joy. Making room in your life for joy, no matter what is going on. No matter what news you've received in the last 24 hours. Make room for joy. Make room for joy. You are not a one-note creature. You deserve the full spectrum of emotion. And joy is one of those. And joy is a quality of God. So let me remind you that your life is a special occasion. Treat it as such. Eat dessert first. Don't save the good stuff. Wear the good clothes. Break out the good china, the good crystal, the good silverware. I sound like my mother. Not that that's a bad thing. Eat the good stuff. Remember who you are. And as Sandy says, remember whose you are. All right? Our good is flowing to us, and frequently we get in our own way because we forget who we are. We are made by God, of God, for God. It's pretty cool. So, practice love, kindness, compassion on yourself. And I say to practice it every day because my goal is to create a habit, a default setting, a first response. When we practice on ourselves, we are connecting to the source of our own being. We are connecting to the infinite source of love, kindness, and compassion. And that way, when we meet people who need a little extra, or we're having one of those days where we need a little extra, we know where to go. And it's an easy, well-worn path. Of all the paths that we could create in our lives, why not create one to love, kindness, and compassion? All right, beloveds. I also encourage you, as I always do, to do something to engage your mind and your body, whatever that looks like. I encourage you to drink plenty of water. Hydration is important. Your brain works better. I encourage you to get early in your day bright light. The sun kept breaking out, so I did take my sunglasses. I didn't have to wear them most of the time, but we got a couple of places where the sun broke through. So early in your day bright light. And if you get up before the sun, please use artificial light. It's called a circadian rhythm. It is a hormone balance. It is absolutely about making sure that you get that extra, you set those hormones in their natural rhythm. So early in your day, bright light. Mornings you're during the day, you'll sleep better at night. Trust me, it's science. You can look it up. And then my quote from Ernest Holmes, open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you, you do live in heaven right here, right now. Part of that was what I was talking about today, is that prosperity mindset. If prosperity is an absolute, then That is what it is. Oh, when we open the windows of our soul and look around at the richness of our life, then we realize that heaven is a state of mind. It's a state of consciousness. It's not our bank account. It's not our bank account. And once we learn to create it for ourselves, all it takes is once. Because once you get there once, you can get there again. Once you learn to create it for yourself, then heaven ceases to be a place. It can become any place. And more importantly, it can become every place. That's why I mention it every day. And you can always take Emma's advice, look for the good and praise it. All right? So, absolutely, absolutely. It's a state of mind. Practice, practice, practice. Okay. Moving on into, we are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark. I'm the running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on. Please go like, share, subscribe, do all that stuff. Help us with the algorithms of Facebook so more people see this kind of message. It's like, look, the world is a good place when we do our part. So please do that. And if you want to know what's going on with the center, email info@creativelife.org. That will get you on the constant contact. Then that way you'll know what's going on with the center, and the hot links are hot. If it says click here now, it'll either take you right to the information, i.e. if you click on the Soul Sessions playlist, it'll take you right to our YouTube channel, right to that playlist. It's a good playlist, trust me. And it will also, or it'll take you to the person that will help you get the information. So please check it out. And I'm at the place where I remind you or encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonder-filled day, an amazing day, an awesome day. I may have already said that. Sometimes I run out of adjectives and adverbs. It's spring day, although we may be in full spring, so don't put your winter coats away just yet. It's still February. A good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day, because you are enough just as you are. You are a beloved child of God. You are a brilliant light. You are a divine spark. You are spirit in motion. You are God in action. You are a godling in whom God is well pleased and well represented. It's a state of grace. And the cool thing about it being a state of grace is it doesn't have to be earned. Can't be taken away. No matter what other people tell you. That's between you and the source of your own being. Go there on a regular basis and check in. So, all right. Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you. I should be back with you around 9 a.m. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved. And I will see you next time.